The 2012-2013 ladies basketball season gets underway today here on Audio Sports Online. It's the Hamilton Southeastern Shootout, and the Lady Royals ranked number 1 in the preseason by the Indiana Basketball Coaches Association. They will take on Lake Central this morning here on AudioSportsOnline.com. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another season of Lady Royals basketball on ASO. My name is Brian Scott. You're going to be hearing a lot from me this year as we have a full slate of Lady Royals basketball to bring to you here on Audio Sports Online. We will begin this season today here at Hamilton Southeastern. It is the Hamilton Southeastern Shootout. It will involve 4 teams, of course, the Royals hosting this event, along with the Hamilton Southeastern District rival here, Fishers Tigers. They will also be here today, though the Royals will not be playing the Tigers here during this shootout. And before we tell you more about what's going on, let's have our national anthem. That's our national anthem here at Hamilton Southeastern High School as we get ready for the Hamilton Southeastern Shootout. As I mentioned, both of the Hamilton Southeastern schools are represented here today. The Royals come in as the preseason number 1 team in the state of Indiana, according to the Indiana Basketball Coaches Association. The Fishers Tigers, they will also be involved in this shootout, though they will not be playing the Royals here. The other 2 teams involved come from the northwest corner of the state of Indiana. And the first team that we will see today are the Lake Central Indians. They come in with a record of 1-0. They have already played 1 game. They defeated Griffith earlier in the week by the score of 54-25. Their head coach is Mark Urban. This is his first year with Lake Central and first year as a head coach. He is now 1-0. And, of course, the head coach of the Hamilton Southeastern Royals is Chris Hubbenthal, 129-29 in his 8th year with the Royals. And he brings in a Lady Royals team that ended the regular season last year as the number 1 team in the state of Indiana, but it would be a very big disappointment as the Lady Royals bowed out in the opening round of the sectionals. They fell to North Central, who would become the Class 5A state champions. And ironically enough, both the boys and girls teams bowed out in sectional play, and the teams that they bowed out against would eventually become the state champions as the boys fell to Carmel in the sectional championship. Carmel, of course, went on to win the Class 5A boys state title. But it is a new season, and there's a lot of optimism here at Hamilton Southeastern as they are going to be led by a pair of Division I commits coming into today's game, as Jessica Banganas has committed to St. Joseph's in the A-10, and, of course, Taya Reimer, fresh off of her FIBA 2012 Under-17 Team USA gold medal. They won over in the Netherlands, defeating Spain. Taya, a big part of that. And with Reimer and Panganis, that is going to be a formidable front court for any team. Let's quickly give you the starting lineups for the visiting Lake Central Indians. They'll have 2 guards, Megan Kroll and Tara Zlatkowski. The forwards are Rolanda Currington and Jessica Bell. And Jessica DeBovo is the center, as she will jump center against Taya Reimer. The ball is up, and this season is underway into the hands of Lindsay Walton as the Royals have the ball, and it's up, and it's good. So Taya Reimer puts the Royals on the board to begin this contest, and we'll quickly give you the starting lineup as that aggressive Hamilton Southeastern defense once again shows as Taya is on the floor and they tie it up. Possession arrow favors Lake Central. 4 Southeastern starters are Casey Hornbuckle, Jessica Panganas, Lindsey Walton, Brittany Goggins, and Taya Reimer, as it will be inbounding the ball for the Indians. Tara Zlakowski, she gets it into the hands of Megan Kroll. Kroll back up top. That's Jessica Bell with the ball as she looks over a 3-2 defense by the Hamilton Southeastern Royals. Royals will trap, and now they will shift out and go more to a man-to-man. They had shown a bit of a zone, but now they switch out of it as the ball is knocked away by Hornbuckle, but recovered by the Indians. Just underway, 2-0 our score. The Royals in their season opener as Panganas pokes it away briefly, but it's recovered by Bell. They get it down underneath. Rolanda Currington gets up and under, but it's blocked out of bounds, and the ball will stay in the hands of the Lake Central Indians. As I mentioned, Taya Reimer, part of that under-17 gold medal team for Team USA, won that against Spain. Taya in the gold medal game, 12.7 rebounds. Is going underneath, might have been partially blocked as Currington tried to wrap around. It's no good. Here come the Royals. Reimer finds Brittany Goggins for 2, and the Royals are up by the score of 4-0. Royals will run, something Chris Huppenthal does regularly. They will run, they will trap. Here's a shot high off the board. No good by the Indians, Rolanda Currington, and here come the Royals the other way. Taya Reimer with the ball. She'll get it down, try to get into the low post to Pagadas, but it's poked away into the hands of Brittany Goggins. Back to Reimer. Reimer from the top of the key drives in the lane, goes up. Whistle will stop the play, and our first foul of the contest is going to go against Lake Central. Getting ready to enter the game for the Indians, Gina Rubino. And the foul will go against the Indians, Jessica Bell. That's going to send Taya Reimer to the line to shoot a pair. One of the questions for Chris Huppenthal's team this year is who's going to be in the backcourt. Of course, a strong front court with Reimer and Panganas, as Taya's first free throw is good. Rubino now into the game, replacing Rolanda Currington. But expect to see Taya really all over the court. She will play, she will bring the ball up. She will run at the point guard, shooting guard, the 3, the 4, and the 5. So she will be all over as her second free throw is no good. Rebounds controlled by the Indians. They quickly push it up the court. The ball gets into the hands of Tara Zlakowski on a nice in-feed pass. And as Zlakowski goes up, she's going to draw a Royals foul. Casey Hornbuckle is going to be called for the foul. Casey, one of the seniors here now on this team, as first free throw is up and good by Zlakowski. That's the first points of the game for the Indians. Second free throw no good. Reimer has the rebound for Hamilton Southeastern. 6:05 remaining in this first quarter. Royals up 5-1 as Hornbuckle has the ball. Long three on its way. High off the glass and in. Casey Hornbuckle with the 3. High off the glass, but good. Gets the bounce, gets the bucket. And the Royals lead is up to 7 at 8-1. Again, that aggressive trapping defense, and they tie it up. It's a good job defensively by Brittany Goggins to tie that ball up. Possession arrow favors Hamilton Southeastern, and they'll have the ball in a 7-point lead with 5:41 remaining in the first quarter. Season opener here at Hamilton Southeastern for the Lady Royals. As I came in, here's a nice entry pass into Taya Reimer. She goes down hard, but she gets a nice entry feed from Lindsey Walton. And Taya's going to go back to the line to shoot shoot 2 more. Jessica DeBolvo will be called for the foul by Lake Central, and we will have a timeout on the court. There is 5 minutes and 32 seconds remaining in this first quarter, and the Lady Royals lead the Lake Central Indians by the score of 8-1. You're watching Hamilton Southeastern basketball on Audio Sports Online. Don't forget, just stay with us all season long. We're going to have a whole lot of Hamilton Southeastern basketball for you, both the boys and the girls, as the Royals will be in action later tonight. This is every team here going to play two ball games, and the Royals, though they're playing the very early game, once they are done with this one, they won't play again until 7 o'clock tonight, and they will play Valparaiso, and we will have that game for you right here on Audio Sports Online. Yours truly will be back here as the Royals and the Valparaiso Vikings on Audio Sports Online. Talked to Coach Chris Huppenthal, very excited about this season. Again, a good team, preseason number 1. As I came in, as I mentioned, Coach Brian Satterfield, he has made his final cuts. He got his boys practicing over in the auxiliary gym this morning. There's still a couple of weeks. Their first game won't be till November 20th. Out of the timeout, Taya Reimer back to the free throw line to shoot a pair. Teo with 3 points already, 1 of 2 from the line. First free throw is up, and she hits it. One more free throw for Taya. Second free throw is up. It is good. 5 points for Reimer. And a 10-1 lead for Hamilton Southeastern as once again, here comes the trap. And we will have this time, though, a foul called. As coming over to help out on the trap was Brittany Goggins, and I think she's going to be called for the hack. It is Goggins that gets the foul. Her first, team second, as the Indians will inbound, trailing by 9. Megan Kroll with the basketball. She's guarded by Goggins, drives in the lane, gives it up, dishes it out to Del Bovo, and Del Bovo is going to be called for taking a few too many steps. Substitutions now for Hamilton Southeastern as both Hornbuckle and Goggins will lead. Kaylee Huppenthal into the game for Hamilton Southeastern. And also Megan Walton. And now they had inbounded the ball, but there's more substitutions as coming in for the Indians, Rolanda Currington returns, and now Lindsay Kuzbel is in for Lake Central. Some discussion there at center court as they are discussing substitutions. So some questions about the substitutions that were just made, but they will let them stand as the Royals will inbound the basketball with a 9-point lead, 5:15 remaining in the opening quarter of play. It was Lindsay Walton. She brings it up. Here's a 3 by Teo Reimer, and Reimer hits the home run ball from the left wing. And now we have an over and back as bringing the ball in for the Royals was Jessica Bell, and she put 1 foot over the end line, and that's a violation that gives the ball back to Hamilton Southeastern as they get the ball into the hands of Panganis. They go back up top. Here's Reimer from the high post. Ball is stripped on the floor, and it's brought away by Lake Central. As coming up the floor is Rolanda Currington. She will go right side, and they'll finally get the ball into the hands of Rubino. Rubino down low to Kuzbel. Kuzbel works on Reimer. Reimer blocks it out of bounds, and the ball will stay in the hands of the Indians. 13-1 is our score. 4:37 remains in this first quarter. All Hamilton Southeastern so far. As inbounding the ball will be Rolanda Currington. Currington gets the ball into the hands of Rubino, and as Rubino gets the ball, before she puts it on the floor, she takes a step, and she'll be called for the steps. So Lake Central, this is their second game of the season, but they are making some mistakes here. Unforced turnovers that give the ball back to Hamilton Southeastern as Lindsay Walton tried to feed over to the near side, getting it into Kaylee Huppenthal's hands. It's poked out of bounds by the Indians, and it'll stay with Hamilton Southeastern. Back into Walton's hands. Walton drives in the lane. Right-hander off the glass, too strong. Huppenthal recovers and gets it out. They try to feed it down low into the paint, trying to get it into the hands of Jessica Manganas, but it's kicked, and the ball will stay with Hamilton Southeastern. 4:20 remains in the first quarter. 13-1 is our score. Royals with the lead and the basketball. They get the ball into the hands of Walton. Walton baseline, kicks it back out. That was Panganas into Walton, over to the right side. Kaylee Huppenthal's three is no good. And going up for the rebound and being called for the offensive foul will be Megan Walton. And she will be called for over the back. 3 team fouls now against Hamilton Southeastern. 2 for the Indians of Lake Central. Lake Central still looking for their first field goal. They have a point on a Tara Zlakowski free throw. As Currington gets the ball into hands of Zlakowski, back to Currington. Currington drives. The ball is stripped away by Walton. And into the hands now of Lindsey Walton. Megan Walton and Lindsey Walton on the court. And substitutions now as Jessica Manganas will take a seat. She will be replaced by Maddie Taylor. And the Indians from Lake Central, they have the basketball trailing by 12. 3:44 remains in this first quarter. Zlakowski throws it up. No good. Here's Reimer with the basketball. She will bring it up. Outlets to Maddie Taylor. That shot's no good. The Indians come away with a rebound. Rubino as the Indians try to move it around. Good aggressive defense. This is Megan Kroll. They're trying to set something down in the low post. Taylor now reaches in as they finally get the entry pass to Jessica Bell. But Maddie Taylor pokes it away, and she's going to be called for the foul. Her first, team fourth, as Rolanda Currington returns for Lake Central. A 13-1 lead for Hamilton Southeastern. 3 minutes and 15 seconds remain in this opening quarter of play. As Currington will inbound from the end line. Throws it out to Kroll, who's picked up immediately by Lindsey Walton. The aggressive defense of the Lady Royals playing havoc right now with Lake Central. Every time they try to get it in the low post, it's blocked or poked away, and now a little too aggressive is Kaylee Huppenthal. As Kaylee looks like she is going to be called for the foul. Well, I changed that. They're going to call that against Maddie Taylor. That's her second. So not against Kaylee, but against Maddie. Her second, team fifth. As here's Currington, drives left baseline, lays it off the glass. No good. Reimer with a rebound for Hamilton Southeastern. Quick outlet as the Royals are running. They get it over to the left side. Shot up, no good by Lindsey Walton. And going up strong to the hoop was Megan Walton. And a foul will send her to the line. Foul will go against Rolanda Currington. That's her first, team foul number 3. And Megan Walton is at the line to shoot a pair. First free throw is up, rolls around, and rolls in. One more free throw for Megan. Second free throw is up, and she hits nothing but the bottom of the net. She gets her first 2 points, and the lead's extended to 15-1 for Hamilton Southeastern with 2:39 remaining in quarter number 1. Lake Central still looking for something. Nothing from the field so far, just a lone free throw. But they haven't been able to get it into the post in the stifling defense, and now another foul, though, is going to be called against Hamilton Southeastern. That one will go against Kaylee Huppenthal. Her first, team 6. So the next free foul will put Lake Central on the free throw line as Currington leaves. And the Indians will try to inbound from the end line. They'll get it over to the near side to Zlakowski. Zlakowski drives baseline, pops about a 12-footer. It's no good. Rebound by Lindsey Walton. Here come the Royals. Royals on the outlet pass, trying to get into the hands of Kaylee Huppenthal, but a little long and out of her reach, and the ball will go back over to Lake Central. 2 minutes, 17 seconds remain in the first quarter, and the Royals are up by 14. Hamilton Southeastern shootout, early morning basketball to tip off the 2012-2013 season. As the Indians, again, stifling defense, as Coach Huppenthal is going to bring in 4 new players, and that ball goes out of bounds off of Jessica Bell, and the ball will belong to Hamilton Southeastern. A whole slew. Jessica Panganis is back in, as is Brittany Goggins. Casey Hornbuckle is in. Maddie Taylor remains on the court. And Alicia Goad is now in the game for Hamilton Southeastern, up by 14. Royals get it into the hands of Taylor. Taylor down low to Panganis. Panganis gets her first bucket of the season, as quickly Lake Central brings it back up court, trying to get back in transition, but the good job by Hamilton Southeastern to beat them back to the basket into the half court. Royals trapping almost every chance they get as Lake Central tries to move it around. Here's a 3-ball on the way off the side of the rim by Gina Rubino, and here comes Hamilton Southeastern the other way. But a steal now by Tara Zlakowski. And Lake Central will have the basketball back, trailing by 18 as we approach the final minute left here in the first quarter. They get it down low, turnaround jumper high off the glass and in, and that's the first bucket from the field. It belongs to Jessica Bell for the Indians. 17-3 as we are under a minute left to play in this first quarter. Get it into the hands of Casey Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle over to Panganis. Panganis back to Hornbuckle. And a high throw. Panganis cannot corral the pass. And it goes out of bounds, and Lake Central will have the ball. They trail 17-13 with 39.2 seconds remaining in this first quarter of play. And it'll likely be Lake Central playing for the final shot here in the quarter. Megan Kroll is harassed by Brittany Goggins, and it goes off of Kroll's foot out of bounds, and the ball will belong to the Royals with 25.6 seconds remaining. Hamilton Southeastern out in front 17-3. Some unforced errors by Lake Central and a stifling defense by Hamilton Southeastern has led to this lead here in the first quarter of the opening game of the season. Here's Panganis down low. Ball is stripped. Lake Central, they don't have the numbers, but taking it in and taking it high off the glass is Tara Zlakowski. She will not get the bucket, but she will draw a foul with 9.2 seconds remaining. As with it was Jessica Bell, of course, that went up. Maddie Taylor picks up the foul, and that's her third. There's a Bell at the line to shoot 2. She has the only field goal. Now she has a free throw to go with it. Jessica DeBovo will come in. She'll replace Lindsay Kuzbel. As Bell back at the line. One more free throw. She hits it. Bell has 4 of the Indians' 5 points. 7 seconds remain. Long cross-court pass. They try to get it into the hands of Panganis. Megan Kroll comes with it. Half-court shot high off the glass is no good. And that's the end of the first half of play, or first quarter of play. Hamilton Southeastern, some good defense, along with Taya Reimer, 8 points. They lead 17-5. Back with second quarter action right after this. You're watching Royals basketball on audiosportsonline.com. is the Hamilton Southeastern Shootout to begin the 2012-2013 season. Good morning, everybody. My name is Brian Scott. After one quarter, Hamilton Southeastern out in front against the Lake Central Indians by the score of 17-5. 4 games are being played here at Hamilton Southeastern. We'll have the nightcap of this four-game marathon as Hamilton Southeastern will play the Valparaiso Vikings at 7. Still got plenty of time if you want to watch some good girls basketball. 12 o'clock, Valparaiso will be taking on the Fishers Tigers, and then at 5 o'clock, the Tigers will take on these same Lake Central Indians at 5 o'clock. And then to close it all out, the Royals and the Vikings. We'll have that game for you, as I said, on Audio Sports Online. Taya Reimer leads all scorers with 8 points, 3 of 4 from the charity stripe, as Lake Central, we're going to have some quick, evidently Royals did not sub in. Taya Reimer is going to be coming back in the game, as is Lindsey Walton, but now they're going to have to take a seat, as evidently they did not check in time. So opening game mistakes, and they're going to send them back to the scorers table so that they can come in on the next dead ball. And it'll be Lake Central to begin this second quarter with the basketball. They trail by 12. Megan Kroll, they try to feed it down low. They get it to Bell. Bell lays it up glass. No good. Goes up, stripped. And I believe getting a hand on that was Ashley Goad, but we'll see. I think they're going to call her for the foul. Actually, they're going to give it on Brittany Goggins. That's her second. 18 foul. That's sending Jessica Bell to the line shooting 2. Bell with 4 of the 5 points, and she rims that one in. Now 3 of 3. Taya Reimer will come back in, as will Lindsey Walton. And Trillia Faisal will now make her first appearance into the lineup for the Lady Royals this season. One more free throw, though, for Jessica Bell, and she cans the most. She's now 4 of 4 from the line, and the Royals lead is 10. It's 17-7 as we are just underway in the second quarter here at the Hamilton Southeastern Shootout. They give it to Panganis, back to Hornbuckle up top. Lindsey Walton's 3 is on the way off the back flange, but into the hands of Faisal, and they will reset. Long entry pass as Reimer was trying to get it into Panganis. Panganis with some height over the Indians, and they'll say it went last touch by Lake Central, so the Royals will keep the basketball. Faisal looking to get the ball in. Over to Reimer. Reimer goes up, and she's going to be met by Jessica Bell, and pass was a little short. It forced Reimer to reach, but they're going to get the call against Jessica Bell. That'll be her second. 14 foul against the Indians, as Bell will sit and Currington will return for Lake Central. It is Faisal, Reimer, Hornbuckle, Panganis, and Lindsey Walton, the 5 currently on the floor for Hamilton Southeastern. And get the ball into the hands of Trillia. Trillia dribbles, gets over to Lindsey Walton. 3 ball on the way is up, no good. Walton falls, no whistle. Rebound underneath by Hamilton Southeastern. And finally, Currington pulls it out for Lake Central. She runs, doesn't have the numbers, kicks it out. 3 ball on the way is short by Gina Rubino, and here comes Hamilton Southeastern with a rebound in the basketball. Taya Reimer stops, pops, doesn't get the bucket, and Lake Central gets the rebound. They get it down low, blocked, but they're going to call Taya for the foul as they got the ball in the hands of Jessica Del Bovo. She went up. Taya thought she had a good block, but the whistle goes against Hamilton Southeastern, and Del Bovo is at the line to shoot a pair. It is the first foul against Taya Reimer, but it is the 9th team foul against the Royals, as Del Bovo's free throw is no good. 17-7 is our score. 6:54 remains in this first half of play, as Del Bovo to shoot one more. That one she hits. And the Indians finally have the deficit back into single digits. They trail 17-8. Now they bring a bit of a 1-2-1-1 trap. But they get the ball into the hands of Reimer. Reimer finds Lindsey Walton underneath. Walton can't get the bucket, but she's going to head to the free throw line to shoot a pair. Good find by Taya Reimer, who is down in the left corner. She found Walton. Gina Rubino will be called for the foul. It is the 15th foul against Lake Central, and Lindsey Walton will head to the line to shoot a pair. First free throw is up, and she nails it. Royals so far doing very well from the line. 6 of 7 from the charity stripe so far through this quarter in a couple of minutes. Second free throw is up. That one rims out. Currington has the rebound for the Indians of Lake Central. Nice outlet pass, but it's stolen by Casey Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle goes the other way, drops it off to Punganis. Punganis right side to Reimer. Taya with the basketball. Kicks it out, tries to find Punganis, but a good steal by Rolanda Currington. Currington brings it up court. She will drop the ball off, and the Lake Central Indians will set up their offense. They trail 18-8. 6:16 remains in this first half of play. Currington drives, goes into a double team, but she's going to be bailed out on a whistle. Tried to drive on Hornbuckle, then found Reimer waiting. And the foul will go against Casey Hornbuckle. That'll be her second. And it's the 10th team foul, so the Indians will be shooting 2 the rest of this 6 minutes and 11 seconds in this first half, as Rolanda Currington still looking for her first points, and she gets her first point from the charity stripe. Lake Central, very much like Hamilton Southeastern, shooting very well from the free throw line. Second free throw is up and good. In fact, all their points, all their 5 points here in this second quarter have all come from the charity stripe. But they trail 18-10 as the Royals still looking for their first basket from the field here in the second quarter. As Hornbuckle has the ball, they're looking at a 2-3 zone right now by the Indians. Lindsey Walton with a basketball, gives it to Hornbuckle near side. Back up top, this is Trillia Faisal. She'll go over to Walton. Walton all alone for 3. Puts it up, rims out, no good. Hornbuckle underneath for the rebound and put back. Hornbuckle now with 5 points. She had a 3-ball in the first quarter, and the league's back up to double digits at 10, 20-10. The Royals with the lead. Here's a long 3-ball that's short, as Tara Zakowski couldn't quite get that one to drop. Back into the game is Megan Walton for Hamilton Southeastern. Trillia Faisal will go and take a seat. 5:26 remains in the first half. 20-10 is our score. Royals have the lead. They also have the basketball as Lindsey Walton brings it up into the front court. They'll find Taya Reimer. Taya Reimer crossover dribble, drives the lane. Shot short, looking for a whistle, didn't get one. And the Indians come the other way. Here's Currington, finds nowhere to go, and at the last second decided she wanted to kick it out to Megan Kroll, but drug her feet. And the turnover will give the ball back to Hamilton Southeastern. A 10-point lead, 5:06 remaining in this second quarter. Walton with the basketball, right side. This is Hornbuckle, 4-3. That one's off the side of the rim. Megan Walton tried to crash the boards, but Lake Central comes away with it. Driving all the way to the basket, but an offensive foul is going to be called against Tara Zakowski. They will wave off the basket as Letkowski will pick up her first foul, 16 foul. Hornbuckle will take a seat. Coming into the game right now is Kaylee Huppenthal for the Royals, as Lindsay Kuzbel will come in. For the Indians, Jessica Del Bovo will take a seat. Del Bovo sits down with a point. And the Royals will have the basketball with a 10-point lead. Under 5 left to go in the first half. This is Lindsey Walton, gives it to Taya Reimer. Reimer cross-cut pass to Lindsey. Down low to Megan Walton, back to Taya Reimer. Reimer for 3. That ball is off the rim, and the loose ball is controlled by the Indians. Indians outlet over into the near corner. They get it into Rolanda Currington. Currington with a nice drive through the lane. She lays it up and in. She now has 4 points. And the lead's back down to 8 for Hamilton Southeastern. Down low, they find Kaylee Huppenthal. Huppenthal off the glass. No good, but crashing the board, getting the loose ball and putting it back up and in is Lindsey Walton. Lindsey now with 3 points, and the lead's back to 10. Into the front court comes the Indians. Currington, nowhere to go, and as she's done a couple of times now, she finds herself in no man's land and drags that pivot foot. Chrissy Addison will now enter the game for Lake Central. She will replace Currington. Currington sits down with 4 points, all of them here in this second quarter of play. 22-12 is our score. 3:56 remains in this first half of play. Royals with the basketball. Kaylee Huppenthal up top to Lindsey Walton. They get it to Banganas to the high post. Back to Megan Walton. Megan Walton's three is no good. Reimer tries to get it. Ball is tipped, and the loose ball is down on the floor. And a quick timeout, as down on the floor was Chrissy Addison. And head coach Mark Urban of the Indians quickly calls a 30-second timeout, as Lake Central needs every possession they can get right now. They trail by 10, 22-12. Yolanda Currington with 4 points in this quarter, as Lake Central has kept in this basketball game mainly from the free throw line. They're 5 of 6 from the charity stripe in this second quarter. And they are in the double bonus as we have 3 minutes and 39 seconds remaining in this first half of play. Taya Reimer still leads all scorers with 8 points. And Jessica Bell leads the Indians with 6. Out of the timeout, it'll be Lindsey Walton, Kaylee Huppenthal, Taya Reimer, Jessica Banganas, and Megan Walton on the court for your Royals. Chrissy Addison, Tara Zlakowski, Megan Kroll, Gina Rubino, and Lindsay Kuzbel are on the court for Lake Central. They have the basketball, trailing by 10. As Zlakowski looking for someone to give the ball to. She tries to feed it down low, gets poked away, but Lake Central is able to retain control of the basketball. Good defense as it's been all first half so far by the Royals. At times a little aggressive. That's put the Indians in the double bonus, but right now I think Coach Huppenthal will take the defense. Long three, no good by Zlakowski. Here comes Lindsey Walton for Hamilton Southeastern. Lindsey over to Megan Walton. Megan in the lane finds Taya Reimer. Reimer puts it up through the two Lake Central defenders. She won't get the basket, but she once again will go to the free throw line to shoot a pair. Gina Rubino will be called for the personal foul. That's her second, team foul number 7th. And back to the line is Taya Reimer, where she has 8 points, 3 of 4 from the charity stripe so far in this contest. Looking for her first points here in the second quarter. And that one's high off the flange, no good. Orlando Currington back into the lineup for the Indians. She'll replace Gina Rubino. 2:58 remains in this first half. 22-12 is our score. Taya Reimer at the line for one more. She missed the first. Second free throw is up. It is good. She has 9 points, and the lead's to 11 for the Lady Royals. 2:56 remaining in this first half. As Lake Central still looking for some type of offense. Here comes the trap. Coming in for the steal was Megan Walton, but she missed. They will get the ball out. Here's the shot, no good by Chrissy Addison, and fighting for the rebound and loose ball underneath. There's a whistle and a foul that's going to go against Southeastern. It's going to go against Lindsey Walton. That'll be her first. Double bonus in effect. That's Rolanda Currington at the line for Lake Central. She is 2 of 2 in this contest from the charity stripe, but she misses the first. One more for Currington. Second free throw is up. That is off. And the loose ball finally controlled by Taya. Taya over to Lindsey Walton. Here come the Royals. Right side to Megan Walton. Walton thinks about a three. Cross-court pass to Taya Reimer. Down low to Banganas, but the pass was a little too hot. And Lake Central comes away with it. And now Currington trying to find Tara Zlakowski over in the near corner. Throws that one out of bounds, and back-to-back turnovers here. Have the ball back into the hands of Hamilton Southeastern with 2:41 left to play in the first half. And the Royals up by 11. 23-12 is our score. Megan, as they get the ball in the high post to Panganis, down to Taya Reimer. Her shot's off the glass, but coming in to finish it up is Jessica Panganis. As she came crashing through the lane, goes to the boards, puts it back up and in, and the lead's 25-12. And now poke away by Megan Walton to Rolando Currington. Ball still loose, and here comes Lindsey Walton. Walton will put it up. Shot is no good, but she's going back to the free throw line. So good hustle here by the Lady Royals. They're up by 13, but they are on the floor. Actually, they're going to say that ball went out of bounds, so it will go into the hands of Lake Central. But still, good hustle by the Lady Royals on the floor trying to get the loose balls. And they've done a very, very good job defensively here. Trying for the steal. That was no good. Panganis comes down with a rebound after Rubino's shot's no good. And going the other way and laying it in is Brittany Goggins. Goggins with 4 points. And now another steal as Reimer has the basketball. Looks left, looks right, takes it herself, lays it off the glass and in. Teo with 11 points, and it's a 29-12 lead for Hamilton Southeastern. Again, this will be a season where don't expect Taya to just stay down in the front line and work a lot in the post. She's going to be running the point at times. Here's another steal. Megan Walton with the basketball. She will lay it up. She will lay it in. 4 points for Megan Walton, and the lead's extended to 31-12, and that's going to cause head coach Mark Urban to call a timeout for the Indians as the Royals now using some good defense and getting some easy layups. They lead by the score of 31-12. 1:01 left to go in this first half of play. Make sure you tune in tonight at 7 o'clock. We'll have the final game here of this Hamilton Southeastern shootout involving the Royals and the Valparaiso Vikings. That game will tip off at 7 o'clock. And yours truly, I'll be right back here calling all the action for you. (31-12) is our score. Taya Reimer now with 11 points. She leads all scores. Rolando Currington has 5 points here in this second quarter. And Jessica Bell leads all Indians with 7 points. Again, it's been the free throw line that had been keeping Lake Central in this basketball game. But now Hamilton Southeastern's getting some steals and some easy layups. And they've stretched this lead out to 19. Under a minute left to play. It's Kroll left side to Currington. Currington drives, kicks it back out to Kroll. They'll go back up top. Here's a long three, no good by Zlatkowski. Walton has a dribble off her foot, and Currington is there to pick it up. And Megan just a little bit gets, as she was still on the ground, she impeded Rolando Currington, and she's going to be called for the foul. That's her second. No serious foul trouble right now for Hamilton Southeastern. Maddie Taylor has 3. She got those rather quickly there in the first quarter. Currington at the line where she is 2 of 4 and make it 3 of 4. She misses the first of 2. She nailed her first 2 free throws that she attempted here in the ball game and has since then missed her last 3. One more for Currington. Second free throw is up. That rims out. Panganis with a rebound. Gets it to Megan Walton. Walton gets the trap, but she gets it over to Lindsey Walton. Here's Lindsey Walton for 3. Lindsey Walton has 6 points. The lead's 34-12 with 25 seconds remaining in this first half. Hamilton Southeastern shootout season opener here for the Lady Royals, and they're up by 22. Here's a 3-ball on the way. That one is no good by Zutkowski, and the loose ball fought for underneath. We'll have a whistle, and a foul is going to be called, and it looks like it's going to go against the Royals. Panganis with the foul. That's her first. And sending to the line, Chrissy Addison. Addison with no points. Saw her first action here in the second quarter. First free throw is up. It is good. 7 seconds remain in this first half. And Addison with one more free throw. Second free throw is up. She nailed them both. Scores 34-14. Royals 7. Under 7. 4 seconds remain. Driving. Good little move. And the bucket is good by Brittany Goggins. Goggins with a nice little sidestep. Made some space. She knocked down the jumper. And that's how this first half ends. With the Lady Royals out in front of the Lake Central Indians by the score of 36-14. Well, we're going to take a break. Catch our breath for a moment, come back in about 5 or 6 minutes, and we'll have you some stats from the first half of this basketball game. Again, Lady Royals out in front by the score of 36-14 at the half. Halftime in Hamilton Southeastern. The Hamilton Southeastern shootout. The Royals with the lead against the Lake Central Indians by the score of 36-14. Brian Scott with you. Full day of basketball here at Hamilton Southeastern. We will return to the air this evening at 7 o'clock when the Lady Royals take on the Valparaiso Vikings. That tip-off is scheduled for 7 o'clock. Fishers Tigers are going to be in action here at about noon and at 5 o'clock as they'll be playing the middle two games here in this shootout. Quickly, let's give you some stats here in the first half. Leading scorer for in the ball game is Taya Reimer with 11 points. She is also 4 of 6 from the free throw line. Brittany Goggins has 6 points. Lindsay Walton with 6 points. Kelsey Hornbuckle has 5, and Megan Walton and Jessica Banganas have 4 points apiece. For the Lake Central Indians, they had tough times scoring, especially from the field. Leading scorer is Jessica Bell with 6 points. Rolando Currington has 4. Chrissy Addison has a bucket, and Tara Zlakowski and Jessica Del Bovo have 1 point each. It's been the free throw line that's been the story of this basketball game, as Lake Central currently 10 of 16 from the charity stripe, while the Royals are 7 of 10 from the line. Hamilton Southeastern has a couple of threes in the basketball game. Lindsay Walton and Casey Hornbuckle each with a 3-point basket. As we get ready for the second half of play here at Hamilton Southeastern, opening game of the season for the Lady Royals. Brian Satterfield's boys team, they'll play on November 20th in their season opener. Of course, we'll have all the action right here on Audio Sports Online, as we will all season long. In fact, if you miss a game, make sure to go to Audio Sports Online, and you can relive any of the previous action this season as an on-demand podcast. And then starting next week, we'll also have the Royals Basketball Coaches Podcast, as ladies coach Chris Huppenthal and the boys coach Brian Satterfield will be with us. The Royals will have the ball, and it'll be the same starting five: Lindsay Walton, Casey Hornbuckle, Jessica Panganas, Taya Reimer, and Brittany Goggins on the court. And now Brittany is going to be called for the traveling violation as she took a bit of a step. And we will go the other way. So it is Lake Central now with the basketball. Same starting four on the court. That's Megan Kroll. She gets it down to Jessica Bell. That shot's no good. The outlet pass comes to Lindsay Walton. Walton gets it over to Goggins, to Reimer. Reimer drives the lane, puts it up and in, and draws the foul. Taya Reimer with a strong move down the right side of the lane. Count the bucket, and the foul is going to go against Lake Central's Rolanda Currington. That's her second. Again, the starting five for the Indians: Megan Kroll, Tara Zlakowski, Rolando Currington, Jessica Bell, and Jessica Del Bovo. But Currington is going to leave with her second personal, and Gina Rubino will come in. She also has a pair of fouls. Only Maddie Taylor, the only player in any type of foul trouble. She has 3. As Reimer to the line. That one's off the front glass. No good. Panganas gets the rebound, and as she goes up, she'll draw the foul. Right now, Lake Central really with no answers to either Reimer or Panganas down low. And Jessica now will head to the free throw line for the first time this morning, I should say. Jessica with 4 points, her first trip to the free throw line. She cans the first of 2. 39-14 is our score. We're just underway here in the third quarter at the Hamilton Southeastern Shootout. My name is Brian Scott. You're going to be hearing a lot from me all season long here on Audio Sports Online, as the second free throw is up, and it's good. 6 points for Panganas, a 40-14 lead for the Royals, as Goggins all over Kroll, as Kroll is able to get it into the front court. She'll dribble, still dribbling. Now she'll hand the ball off to Zlakowski. Zlakowski back to Kroll. Tries to set up Bovo in the low post, but has to back it out. Kroll harassed by Goggins still. Tries to feed it down low, poked away by Panganas. Back into the hands of Kroll, and looks like Goggins is going to be called for her third personal. Third personal against Goggins, as The Indians inbound. Kroll and Goggins. They go right side, poked away by Casey Hornbuckle as Goggins was trying to get it over to Gina Rubino. And actually, they're going to call, they're going to call a foul on Casey. And for Casey, that's her third. So now 3 players with 3 personal fouls. Hornbuckle, Maddie Taylor, and Goggins. No subs. As Lake Central has the basketball, and they get the back to Kroll. Kroll right side. This is Rubino. Tries to beat it down into the low post. Stolen by Panganis. Jessica left side to Reimer. Reimer drives baseline, kicks it to Panganis, and Panganis will put it in from 8 feet away. Jessica now has 8 points. The lead's 42-14 for the Lady Royals. Ranked number 1 in the preseason polls by the Indiana Basketball Coaches Association. And right now with a 28-point lead. They'll try to feed it down low. This is Bell. She puts it up. Shot no good. Panganis with a rebound for Hamilton Southeastern. She outlets to Reimer. Reimer, right side. Gives it to Goggins. Goggins just in front of the three-point line. No good. Lindsey Walton with a rebound. She has it partially stripped by Gina Rubino, and the Indians come the other way. Under 6 minutes left to play in the third quarter, and now losing the ball is Rubino out of bounds, and it'll belong to the Royals. Megan Walton will come in for Casey Hornbuckle, and Alicia Goad comes in for Brittany Goggins. 42-14, that's our score. 5 minutes and 57 seconds remain in this third quarter. They get the ball to Panganis, back to Goad, down on the corner to Megan Walton. As Walton tried to feed it to Lindsey Walton, Walton ends up on the deck, and the Indians end up with the basketball. Driving, laying it up off the glass and in is Tara Zlakowski. Her first bucket from the field. She has 3 points. 42-16 is the score. And now another steal by Lake Central. They'll feed it over to the far corner. The 3 ball is well short by Gina Rubino, but Lake Central gets the loose ball. Zlakowski guarded by Ashley Goad. They will feed it back up top into Rubino's hands. Rubino guarded by Lindsey Walton. They will feed it out to Bell. Bell over Panganis. That shot is up, and that's good. Jessica Bell with 8 points. 42-18, under 5 left to play third quarter. Royals with the lead. Lake Central has stepped up their defensive intensity, and now an unforced error as Megan Walton will dribble that ball off of her leg. As Lindsey Walton will take a seat, and Brittany Goggins is going to return to the lineup with 3 personal fouls. She has 6 points on the night, or in the morning, I should say. As Lake Central brings it up. High arcing shot is no good by the Indians, and the loose ball underneath fought for, and we have a whistle and a foul is going to be called, and this one looks like it's going to go against the Royals. Royals have been on the south side of the foul calls here today. That is the second personal against Panganis, 13 foul against Hamilton Southeastern, and now Goggins is going to be called, I believe, for another foul on the inbounds. No, and it's an offensive foul. It's going to go against Lake Central. And the foul's going to go against Jessica Bell, and that's going to be her 4th. Team foul number 3 against the Indians, and Bell, who is their leading scorer, is going to sit down with 8 points. Bringing the trap once again. Goggins gets it over to Megan Walton. Megan Walton to Goad. Goad drives in the lane. She's going to be blocked by Jessica Del Bovo, but they're going to be a whistle. Whistle's going to be called as Del Bovo not quite in agreement, but she's going to send Ashley to the line to shoot a pair. That's Del Bovo's second, and to the line for the first time is Ashley Goad. First free throw is up. It is good. Again, the Royals doing an excellent job from the charity stripe so far in this contest. They were 7 of 10 in the first half. And they are currently 3 of 4 here. And make it 4 of 5 in the second half. Some pressure shown by the Royals, but Currington will get it up for the Indians. 4:20 remains in this third quarter, 44-18. Lady Royals out in front. And now another whistle, and this one's going to go against Goggins, and that's going to be number 4. Goggins will sit. Lindsey Walton will return for the Lady Royals, and taking it out is Rolanda Currington here on the near side. She'll get it into the hands of Kroll. Kroll left side as they try to move the ball around to Currington, and ball slapped away by Lindsey Walton, and it'll go out of bounds in the backcourt, and the ball will remain in the hands of the Lady Indians of Lake Central. 44-18 our score. 4 minutes, 2 seconds remain in this third quarter. As ball is loose and finally picked up by Taya Reimer. Taya finds Panganis, and Panganis finishes it with a layup. Reimer with a steal. She finds Panganis, gets the assist. Panganis gets the bucket, and the lead's back up to 28 at 46-18. Gina Rubino back to Megan Kroll. Kroll guarded by Lindsey Walton. Nice entry pass. They get it down low into the hands of Jessica Del Bovo, and Del Bovo with her first bucket from the field. She has 3 points. 46-20 is our scores. Once again, Lake Central with some aggressive defense, and as Goad tried to give it to Jessica Panganis near the sideline, it goes off of Panganis out of bounds, and it belongs to Lake Central. Goad will leave. Megan Walton in, Lindsey Walton in, and Kaylee Huppenthal now in the contest for Hamilton Southeastern. And on the pass is Currington tried to find over on the far sideline Chrissy Addison. She throws it away. And after that turnover, we're going to have a timeout. 3 minutes and 7 seconds remain in this third quarter. All Hamilton Southeastern. They lead by 26 by the score of 46-20. You are watching Lady Royals basketball on Audio Sports Online. We will be here all season long for you here as the Royals cheerleaders out here right now. Boys team was practicing as Coach Satterfield has made his final cuts for the boys that will begin their season on the 20th. (46-20) is our score. 3 minutes, 7 seconds remain in this third quarter. Brian Scott with you. Game 1 of 4 here at Hamilton Southeastern High School. It's the Hamilton Southeastern Shootout. Following this game, Valparaiso will be taking on the Fishers Tigers. And then everybody will get a bit of a break as Fishers then will come back and play at 5 o'clock against these Lake Central Indians. And the Royals will close out the night taking on the Valparaiso Vikings. That game will tip off at 7 o'clock. We'll have the pregame show at around 6:55. Royals with the basketball on a 26-point lead as into the hands of Kaylee Huppenthal. She tries the entry pass to Reimer. Reimer almost lost it, and a whistle will stop play, and Reimer holding her head. Looks like she might have gotten a knee. And the foul is going to go against the Indians' Currington. And they say that's her 4th. So Reimer, looking none the worse for the wear, might have taken a knee as she went down to get that basketball to the side of the head. And they say that Currington is the one that delivered it, and that's her 4th personal foul. 14 fouls each. Huppenthal finally gets it to Reimer. Reimer with the basketball, looking for Paganis in the low post. Cross-court pass is finally retrieved by Megan Walton. Lindsey Walton couldn't control it as she went down along with Lindsay Kuzbel. And the ball, they say, went off of the Royals, and it'll belong to the Lake Central Indians. They trail by 26 with 2:37 remaining in this third quarter of play. Currington hands it off to Zletkowski. Zletkowski out. Here's a shot from about 14 feet. No good by Kuzbel. Rebound controlled by Jessica Delbovo, and Delbovo finally is able to put it up and put it in for the Indians. 5 points for Delbovo. 46-22 is our score. Long shot, no good, and unable to corral the rebound was Kaylee Huppenthal. So the Indians will have the basketball as they bring it into the front court. Here's Currington. Gets trapped underneath, gives it out to Kuzbel. Kuzbel goes down to the ground, and going down with her is Lindsey Walton to generate the held ball, and the possession arrow favors Lake Central. Punganis will take a seat as she's going to get a bit of a break. Maddie Taylor back out onto the court. Taylor, no points. She garnered 3 quick personal fouls there in that first quarter. Currington gets the ball into the hands of Zletkowski. She'll put up a little floater, and she puts it up and in. Zletkowski with 5 points. 46-24 is our score with 1:43 left to play in the third quarter. Megan Walton harassed. She gets it over to Kaylee Huppenthal. Kaylee with the basketball. Hands it over to Maddie Taylor. Over to Megan Walton. Walton down low. Finds Lindsey Walton. Lindsey with a right hand. Shot long. No good. Rebounds controlled by Delbovo of Lake Central. She's looking for somebody to hand the ball off to. Gets it in the hands of Zletkowski. Looking down in the low post for Kuzbel. And now everybody on the floor once again. Ball is loose. And the ball will go out of bounds. And they'll say it went off of Kaylee Huppenthal. A lot of bodies on the court, and finally they'll say it was tipped out by Kaylee. Megan Kroll will return for the Indians. And they're still looking for somebody to take out of the ball game, and they do. Casey Hornbuckle returns. She'll replace Megan Walton. Hornbuckle, 3 fouls, 5 points. Our score is 46-24 with 1:10 left to go in the third quarter as they get the ball into the hands of Kroll. Kroll to Zletkowski. Zletkowski puts the ball up too hard, and finally Reimer comes away with it for the Royals. Taya, cross court to Walton. Walton to Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle for 3. Nailed it. Good ball movement by the Lady Royals as Casey Hornbuckle hits her second 3 of the basketball game. She has 8 points, and the lead's 49-24 with 41 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Ball on the floor. Reimer finally comes away with it. Taya with a basketball. Pull-up jumper is up. That rims out. No good. Lindsey Walton gets the rebound, and as she goes up, she's fouled by Lindsey Kuzbel. Kuzbel, that'll be her first personal 5th team foul against the Indians. And Lindsey Walton's at the line to shoot 2. She misses the first of 2. She was 1 of 2 from the line in the first quarter. Jessica Bell and Chrissy Addison return for the Indians as Orlando Currington and Gina Rubino will take a seat. Meanwhile, Lindsey has 1 more free throw. 6 points for Lindsey so far in this contest. Make it 7 as she hits the back end, and it's a 50-24 game with 29 seconds remaining in this third quarter of play. They'll get the ball into the hands of Zletkowski. She'll drive. Another little floater, but that one's way long, and Lindsey comes away with a rebound for the Lady Royals. 10 seconds remain in this third quarter. They try to get the ball down low into Reimer's hands, but it gets kicked out of bounds, and it will stay in the hands of Hamilton Southeastern with 4.9 seconds remaining in this third quarter. 50-24 is our score as Reimer looks to inbounds. She will throw it up. Lindsey Walton is too close to the end line. She had to jump high for the pass, and in the end she couldn't corral it. That'll leave 3.3 seconds remaining as we'll see what Lake Central is able to do as they'll inbound in front of the scorer's table. They'll get it to Kroll. Kroll drives and throws it up. She will not get the bucket at the buzzer, but a foul is going to be called, and Kroll will be going to the line. And they are going to have to clear the floor, as going to the line will be Megan Kroll, as the foul was called. The foul was called against Kaylee Huppenthal, and with the line cleared, as everybody else back at the benches, Kroll is at the line to shoot two. She misses the first. So just as the buzzer went off, Huppenthal commits the foul, and Kroll misses both free throws. And that now is officially the end of the third quarter. Our score, Hamilton Southeastern 50, Lake Central 24. Final quarter of action coming up. You're watching Hamilton Southeastern basketball on audiosportsonline.com. Brian Scott back with you from Hamilton Southeastern High School. The Hamilton Southeastern shootout, as the Lady Royals are taking on the Lake Central Indians from the northwest corner of the state. And right now, the preseason number one team in the state of Indiana having no problems with the Indians. They lead by the score of 50-24. To begin the fourth quarter, Lady Royals will have Casey Hornbuckle, Lindsey Walton, Maddie Taylor, Kaylee Huppenthal, and Jessica Panganis is on the court. For Lake Central, they're going to have Megan Kroll, Gina Rubino, Chrissy Addison, Jessica Bell, and Lindsay Kubel. Royals will have the basketball to begin this fourth quarter, and Panganis has it as she brings it into the front court, spins in the lane, lays it up, puts it in. Good move by Jessica Panganis. She now has 12 points. Taya Reimer still leads all scorers with 13 points in this basketball game, as Lake Central drives the left side of the lane is Gina Rubino, and a foul will send Rubina to the line. Foul will go against Kaylee Huppenthal. That's her third. And now the Lady Royals have Brittany Goggins with 4 personals, as the first free throw is missed by Rubino. Maddie Taylor, Kaylee Huppenthal, and Casey Hornbuckle all with 3 personal fouls each. Orlando Currington has 4 for the Indians, as the second free throw is up and good by Rubino. And Jessica Bell also with 4 personals. Lake Central showing a trap, and coming up is now Panganis. Into the hands of Hornbuckle, down low into the post to Panganis. A little right-hand hook shot, rolls around, puts it in. Jessica now with 14 points. She takes over the scoring lead in this game. 54-25 is our score. Just underway here in the fourth quarter. We'll be back tonight at 7 o'clock as the Royals will take on the Valparaiso Vikings, and an entry pass into Jessica Bell is long and goes out of bounds, as they are wiping up the floor here on the Royals front court. And now we'll simply have a 30-second timeout called by Coach Chris Huppenthal. 6:59 remains in this basketball game. Royals never trailed in this game. They lead 54-25. They led 36-14 at the half. For the Indians, free throw shooting is what kept them in this basketball game in the first half, but they only went to the line twice there in that third quarter, and those were those 2 free throws that Megan Kroll put up right at the end at the buzzer. She missed both of them, but for Hamilton Southeastern right now, they are 12 of 17 from the charity stripe. 5 of 7 in that third quarter. For Lake Central, that was their best quarter. They still lost the third because Hamilton Southeastern outscored them 14-10, but it's still a big lead for the Royals. Is now out of the timeout. We will see a full court press applied by Lake Central. Lindsey Walton has got the basketball. She gets it into the front court, lays it off for Maddie Taylor. Taylor back to Lindsey Walton. Lindsey with the basketball to Maddie. Maddie looking, finds an entry pass to Bunganis. That little right-hand hook this time doesn't come down with it. And Jessica Bell has the basketball for Lake Central. Couldn't get that one to drop as Taya Reimer is set to return on the next dead ball for Hamilton Southeastern. And a nice hands there by Kaylee Huppenthal poking the ball away. And now Taya will re-enter. Maddie Taylor will take a seat. Taya comes back into the game. She has 13 points. 54-25, that's our score with 6:24 left to go in this fourth quarter. Hamilton Southeastern shootout. Preseason number 1 team having no problems here in this contest as Kroll drives, and as she gets in, she's going to be bodied up, and that looks like it's going to go against Casey Hornbuckle. That would be her 4th. For Hornbuckle, that is her 4th. That's a 17 foul against the Royals, and Megan Kroll will go back to the line to shoot a pair. Kroll missed her first 2. This one is good. Brittany Goggins will come back in, as will Ashley Goad. Kelly Huppenthal and Lindsey Walton will take a seat. Goggins with 4 personals already, or 4 personals re-enter. She has 6 points. Kroll's second free throw is good. She just needed somebody on the line to help her out on the free throws. She missed the other 2 while the lanes were empty. 54-27, that's our score. Here's Reimer with the basketball. Cross-court pass into Goad's hands over to Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle, who's already hit a couple of threes, finds Bunganis. Bunganis with Reimer. Reimer strong to the cup, and she puts it in. 15 points for Taya Reimer. She retakes the scoring lead, and now we'll have a traveling violation called against Lake Central. Tara Zlakowski will come in, as will Rachel Bell. She makes her first appearance. As Megan Kroll will take a seat, as will Sarah Benasiak, who had been in the game. Goad looking for somebody, and she gets it into the front court. Goggins gets into the trap, finds Goad as they're in a 1-3-1. Goggins finds Bunganis. Bunganis from 12, 14 feet. And Jessica has really heated it up here in this second half. 16 points for Jessica. A 58-27 lead for the Lady Royals. 5:23 remains in this fourth quarter. Here's a 3 on the way by Zlakowski. Her shot no good, and the ball goes out of bounds, and they'll say it was last touched by an Indian. Trillia Faisal will come in. She'll replace Casey Hornbuckle. And Chrissy Addison comes back in. She takes the place of Gina Rubino. And a timeout will be called on the court. 5:14 remains in this fourth quarter. It's all Hamilton Southeastern. They lead this game by the score of 58-27. Game 1 of the Hamilton Southeastern shootout. Of course, the other school in the Hamilton Southeastern School District, the Fishers Tigers, they're going to be a little bit busy here for the next few hours. They're going to play the second game here this morning, as they will be playing the Valparaiso Vikings. That one is scheduled to tip off at noon. And then we will start the back end of this shootout at 5 o'clock, as the Tigers will take on these Lake Central Indians. And the Royals will finish the night with the Valparaiso Vikings. That game set to tip off at 7 o'clock. Catch all that action right here on Audio Sports Online. I'll be back with you with the pregame show at about 6:55 or so, and the tip-off scheduled for 7 o'clock between the Royals and the Vikings. Out of the timeout for the Indians, they'll have Rachel Bell, Tara Zlikowski, Jessica Bell, Chrissy Addison, and Lindsay Kuzbel. For the Royals, Trillia Faisal, Brittany Goggins, Jessica Baganas, Taya Reimer, and Ashley Go. Those are the 5 on the court for the Royals. The Royals have the basketball. Go cross court to Faisal. Faisal gets it to Reimer. Reimer from 14 nails it. Taya Reimer hits the bucket. She now has 17 points. The lead 60-27. Down low, not able to put it up. Kuzbel gets the rebound, puts it back up, and Panganis will tie up on the jump ball with Jessica Bell, and the possession arrow favors the Lake Central Indians. They trail by 33, and they'll get the ball in, poked away by Reimer, but Kuzbel was able to regain control of the basketball. Here's Lekowski, 4-3. That one's short. Panganis on the court. So are half of each team on the court, on the floor. And the held ball this time, possession arrow favors Hamilton Southeastern. Almost halfway through this fourth and final quarter. 4 minutes, 35 seconds remain. 60-27 is our score. As Panganis lays it off to Reimer. Taya with the basketball. Crossover dribble, drives, puts it off glass. Shot no good. Trillia Faisal drives through the lane trying to get the loose ball, and she's going to be called for the foul on an aggressive move down the lane. Well, actually, they're going to call Ashley Goad away from the basketball. It is the 8th team foul, so at the free throw line shooting the 1-on-1 is Chrissy Addison. Addison, 2 points. Both of them came from the charity stripe. Hits the first, will have a chance for the bonus. Addison, the back end of the 1-on-1 is short. Reimer with a rebound. She'll bring it into the front court, drives over, now kicks it out to Ashley. Ashley to Jessica. Jessica, long 3 off the back flange. There's Trillia to get the rebound, and unable to get the nice feed from Ashley as Panganis simply could not hold on to the basketball, but a good look by Ashley Goad. Instead, the Indians will bring it into their front court, trailing 60-28. Driving the lane, putting it up a little too strong. Loose ball underneath, fought for, and finally controlled by Lake Central. Underneath and trying to, in football we'd call that jumping the route, was Ashley Goad on the entry pass into Chrissy Addison. And Ashley's going to pick up her second. A couple of substitutions now as Taya and Jessica are going to go take a seat. Maddie Taylor will come in, as will Mariah Trisk. Panganis sits down with 16 points, and Taya sits down with 17. First free throw is up and good by Addison. And she will get the bonus. She has 4 points, all of them coming from the line. As Tara Zlikowski will take a seat, and Sarah Benaziak is back into the game for the Indians. And Chrissy Addison with one more free throw. She hits the back end of the 1-on-1, and it's a 30-point lead for the Royals. 3:38 remains in the ball game. Driving is Lindsay Walton. She'll take it to the line, put it up, count the basket. Let's see. Looks like they are going to count it as Not Lindsey Walton, it was Megan Walton driving those lanes hard. Count the basket, and she'll go to the line for the and one. Lindsey Kuzbel is the one will be charged with the foul. That's her second, team sixth. And Megan's able to convert the three-point play. Megan Walton with 7 points. 63-30 is our score. Lake Central looks to move it around. This is Jessica Bell, but they'll swing it back around into the hands of Addison. Still swinging. They're trying to set up Bell in the low post. She's guarded by Mariah Trisk. Still moving the ball around is Lake Central. Good defense by Hamilton Southeastern. They finally get it into the low post, and putting it up and in is Jessica Bell. They had been trying to set that up that entire play, and it had been a good job by the Royal defense. But they finally get it down into the low post, and they convert. But it's 63-32 is our score. And now a steal by Lake Central, as they will take the basketball, laying it up, and laying it in is Rachel Bell. Rachel Bell's first points of the basketball game, and now the steal, and Bell puts that up and in, and it's now, she has 4 points. 63-36 is our score. 2:19 remains in this fourth quarter of play. Trillia Faisal, she got caught, but she gets it out to Megan Walton, and Megan Walton from the left elbow puts it up and puts it in. Megan with 9 points as Lake Central gets it down and in. Shot is up and no good. And now we'll have a held ball, and the possession error will favor Lake Central. Substitutions with 1:51 left to go. Maddie Taylor and Megan Walton will seat. Megan with a good job there, as Lachey Flemons is now in, as Coach Huppenthal getting some of his bench players a chance, as a long three is no good. Underneath is Ashley Goad to pick up the rebound. She will flip it over to Kaylee Huppenthal. 1:42, 65-36, that's our score. As Kaylee drives baseline, gets caught underneath, in amongst the trees, nowhere to go. It's finally just throws it up. Shot no good, tries to get her own rebound, but the Indians come away with it. They'll push the ball up. Here's a long three on its way. Shot no good by Sarah Benasiak. And a whistle underneath will stop play, and a foul will be called against the Royals. Foul is going to go against Ashley Goad. That's her third. It's 10th team foul, so double bonus time once again for Lake Central. First free throw is up and good by Lindsey Kuzbel. Second free throw is up. That is good. And Lindsey Kuzbel has her first 2 points. It comes from the charity stripe, and it's a 65-38 game. With 1:14 remaining here in this fourth quarter. Almost gets away from Kaylee Huppenthal. Kaylee lays it off, driving the lane, throwing it up is Mariah Trisk. That shot's no good, and Lachey Flemings trying to get the rebound. It goes off of her, and the ball will belong to Lake Central, as we are going to have a stoppage of play because the clock never started. Now it does. 1:02 was on the clock when that ball went out of bounds, so we'll see where they reset it. They'll just simply take it down to a minute and let Lake Central inbounds from in front of the scorer's table. 65-38, under a minute left to go here in this fourth quarter. And as we are going to have a foul called, I thought we were going to get an illegal screen called against Kuzbel, but instead looks like we are going to have a foul called against Kaylee Huppenthal. That's her fourth. And to the line with a double bonus is Rachel Bell. First free throw is up and good. Bell, who just entered here in this fourth quarter, now has 5 points. And second free throw is up. That one rims out, and Flemons has the rebound. Right side to Kaylee. Kaylee brings it across the timeline with 48 seconds remaining in the ball game. Uppenthal lays it off to Flemons. Flemons picks it up to Uppenthal. 37 seconds remain. This is Mariah. Mariah left side to Ashley Goad. Goad goes underneath, finds Uppenthal. Uppenthal tries to go up strong, and she'll have it blocked out of bounds, and the ball will stay in the hands of Southeastern. 29.3 seconds remain. Southeastern hasn't really been challenged here since the opening tip. They lead 65-39. And as Trillia tries to find Ashley underneath, Ashley had a foot on the baseline, or the end line, and that's going to cause a turnover and give the ball back to Lake Central for 25 seconds in this fourth. We will be back with you at 7 o'clock tonight, as that ball is going to be loose, as the Royals will take on the Valparaiso Vikings. Nice move by Kuzbel stepping through, but she can't get it to fall. Final 7 seconds remain as Kaylee Uppenthal has the basketball, and they will let the clock wind down to 0, and that's going to do it. Your final score, Hamilton Southeastern defeats Lake Central by the score of 65-39. Give us about 3 minutes, and we'll be back with some final stats. You're watching Hamilton Southeastern basketball on AudioSportsOnline.com. Brian Scott back with you at Hamilton Southeastern High School for the Hamilton Southeastern Shootout. Game 1 is in the books as the Lady Royals come away with a 65-39 victory over Lake Central. This game was pretty much decided very, very early as Hamilton Southeastern came out strong defensively and really held Lake Central down to really resorting to free throws. As that aggressive defense led to quite a few fouls against Hamilton Southeastern, and for the first half, at times that was able to keep the Lake Central Indians at times within striking distance as they got it down to single-digit deficit in that second quarter. But the Royals then came on strong, and it just really snowballed for there as Lake Central just never really could match up with Hamilton Southeastern. Let's give you your final stats. For Lake Central, leading scorer was Jessica Bell with 10 points. 5 points apiece for Rachel Bell, Tara Zlatkowski, and Jessica Del Bovo. Rolando Currington finished with 4 points, 2 points for Megan Kroll, 1 point for Gina Rubino. Sarah Biznasiak played. She did not score. For Hamilton Southeastern. Leading scorer, Tara Reimer with 17 points. Jessica Panganis finished with 16 points. Mega Walton, she had a pretty good game, especially there in that fourth quarter. She finished with 9 points. Casey Hornbuckle hit a couple of big threes. She finished with 8 points in the evening, or in the morning, I should say. Lindsey Walton and Brittany Goggins finished with 6 points apiece. Alicia Gove finished with 2 points. Kaylee Huppenthal, Trillia Faisal, Maddie Taylor, Lachey Flemings, and Mariah Trist, they all played. They did not score as Hamilton Southeastern cruises to a 65-39 victory here in Game 1 of the Hamilton Southeastern Shootout. We will be back with you this evening at 7 o'clock. Pre-game show set for around 6:55 as the Royals will take on the Valparaiso Vikings as we're getting ready to, we've watched Valpo now take the court along with the Fishers Tigers. They're going to be playing here at noon at Hamilton Southeastern. Still want to watch some good high school girls basketball as we tip off the regular season. You can still make your way out here. They'll be playing at noon, and then we'll finish off tonight, 5 o'clock. Fishers will take on the Lake Central Indians, and like I said, the Royals taking on the Valparaiso Tigers. So once again, your final score here from Hamilton Southeastern, Game 1 of the Hamilton Southeastern Shootout. The Royals get the victory in the season opener. They knock off Lake Central by the score of 65-39. This is Brian Scott saying come back here tonight, 7 o'clock, for more Lady Royals basketball from the Hamilton Southeastern Shootout at Hamilton Southeastern High School. Until then, so long, everybody.